Coming up on this edition of Celtics Weekly, we've got all the top plays from another winning week, go behind the scenes with Celtics City, and hear how Derrick White rediscovered his joy. All that and more now.
Welcome into Celtics Weekly. This is where we catch you up with everything related to the world champion Celtics. It's a headband show. It's a headband show. Megan Onolini with NBC Sports Boston's Chris Forsberg. Chris is a vibe. This was my idea, but I feel like he's really stealing the spotlight right now.
I appreciate that, but we have the same rules as Jason Tatum and Derrick White. When Meg said we were going to do headbands, I said no option. I must do it. And now I'm kind of obsessed with the look, and so I'm just going to rock it for like the foreseeable future. The mustache, everything ridiculous.
People don't know that this is how your trademark little piece of flair
100%.
On your suit started. Yeah. So now we're going to keep adding accessories, and I love it for you. Headbands or no headbands, it was a huge week for the Celtics. So let's get right into our highlights with plays of the week. And where do we start? But number 10 with the new guy, Torrey Craig. In Philly, Torrey Craig had this huge block on Daniel Roddy. Watch the replay of this because you can see Roddy just thinks that he has to think about Sam Hauser, but there comes Torrey Craig.
Chase down, block from the new guy. What a way to make an impression.
Number 9, D. White. This is quick.
Oh!
The Kristaps Porzingis from the inbound pass.
How do you lose the 7'3" guy? But here he comes off the screen and make him say Meg. Na.
I didn't know if you were actually going to do that, and I love you for it. Let's go to number 8 so I can regain my composure. Torrey Craig again. On this one, loses the ball, but it's okay. Don't panic, because on the other side, you got Derrick White picking his pocket, and Jason Tatum finds Craig for the dunk.
I want you to keep track of the common theme here. So, guy in a headband with the steal, guy with the headband with the outlet pass, and guy with the headband dunking the basketball. That's how you maximize headband efficiency.
Number 7, you got Jaylen Brown. He's getting caught up here in the Sixers, but he's got eyes in the back of his head for Kristaps Porzingis.
Look, you can play defense for 23 seconds, and Kristaps Porzingis is still going to burn you. With the quick release, Gershon Yabusele never had a chance. It's too bad. And
if you're on the other side, the worst part is the smile that he gives everyone after he sinks this shot. Look at that.
Look at that smirk.
Number 6, Peyton Pritchard going full speed, slams on the brakes, hits a 3. Watch the ankles breaking on this replay.
So I'm not sure that Peyton Pritchard made it through customs last night. I'm not sure you can take those ankles over the border, but boy, did he take those ankles.
Number 5 starts with a Porzingis block on Cat. Then you got Jason Tatum finding Drew Holiday with a perfect outlet pass.
So look, I don't know if Tatum borrowed Drew Holiday's zennies because he had a little good vision down the court. Lobs it out there, perfect pass, right in stride, nice little layup.
Number 4, Tatum and Cornette, the two-man game, breaking the Sixers defense. It's a glitch in the Matrix.
So this is the new Stockton and Malone, not sure if you're aware, but Jason Tatum and Luke Cornette, pretty much an unstoppable duo in the NBA right now, and pretty much tied the Sixers into a pretzel, leading to a Luke Cornette layup.
Number 3, let's get more Luke Cornette, okay, while we have the time. Peyton Pritchard is maneuvering through some traffic, finds Cornette for the
I love the vision here from Peyton Pritchard, always on the move, gets the defense to collapse, and then what you gonna do? Boom, Luke throws it down.
Number 2, I'm just gonna let you know, we're cheating here a little bit because it's really 2 highlights. Derrick White with the block party on Grady Dick, and Peyton Pritchard sealing the deal on the other side in both of these plays. But really, it's all about the blocks from Derrick White.
And Derrick, the best shot blocking guard in the NBA, but I just love, he loves meeting a person at the rim and just denying them to their face. And even better, keeps the ball in possession for the Celtics, goes the other way, and Peyton making them pay twice.
Number 1, a guy we're going to talk about a lot this show because we already have been. Derrick White comes up with the rebound to Jason Tatum, who finds Jaylen Brown, and you just love that J&J chemistry right there.
Your 3 superstars from the Celtics getting involved in this play. Look at Derrick chasing it down, making sure he doesn't get hit in the face. And when the Jays connect like this, ooh, there's nothing sweeter.
Those are your top plays. Let's go now to Inside Access. The Celtics and HBO have a docu-series debuting on March 3rd called Celtics City. It explores in depth the 18-time world champion Boston Celtics from executive producers Bill Simmons and Connor Schell. The 9-part docu-series debuts at 9 p.m. on HBO and will be available to stream on Max, with new episodes debuting weekly through April 28th. Celtics City chronicles the remarkable saga of the Boston Celtics, the NBA's winningest and most storied franchise, from its founding as one of the league's original teams all the way to its triumphant 2024 championship, along the way delving into the fierce rivalries, defining moments, and societal forces that have shaped the organization's enduring legacy. Featuring never-before-seen archival footage and over 80 interviews with past and present Boston Celtics legends, from Bob Cousy and Larry Bird to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the series captures the scope of the team's influence, weaving together the personalities, battles, tragedies, and triumphs that have defined the franchise across more than 7 decades of American history. And who better to join us to talk about this amazing docu-series premiering than Jeff Twist, Vice President of Media Services with the Boston Celtics. Jeff,
and the unofficial Celtics historian. Are you okay with that title?
I'm very honored and proud. Thank you.
There we go.
Well, thank you for joining us to talk about this, because it's so exciting. I think for me, aside from the 80 different interviews, which I can't wait to hear. I wish I could go through all the raw footage of what those interviews are like, but to hear what's selected for the docu-series, the archival footage.
Yes.
What was it like to go through the archival footage and find this never-before-seen video to show to Celtics fans of the last 7 decades?
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me on and being a part of the show here today. But it was really surreal, because not to say I've worked here 40 plus years for the Celtics, I've seen everything, but I haven't, because there's so much untapped and so much unique footage. It was like, wow, you sit yourself, you pinch yourself, I never knew this existed. And one I do have to share with you real quickly, not to spoil the surprise, but Nancy and Randy Auerbach, Coach Auerbach's daughters, they had these old tapes of Coach from the State Department trip across behind the Iron Curtain.
Oh my God.
And family videos like them at the beach or a summer house.
It's 40 plus years, 50 plus years now. Like, how much is it to get this all on film and to show like the legacy and what people haven't seen about this organization?
Right. It was a task to try to break it down into the 9 parts that you will see. And it kind of not necessarily goes by era or decade, but it does. It has to start from day one in '46 when the team was built. And thank heavens Bob Cousy is still with us and very sharp to recall a lot of memories and dates, because he would say a date on film on the interview, and I go back and look it up, not to check his facts.
Nailed it.
He's right. He's spot on. I go, how do you remember that from 50, 60, 70 years ago? But he does. And we're very fortunate to have Bob, as well as Tom Sanders, two real people I admire and really are icons in our business.
I bet you think about this a lot, but as you're going through all this archival footage and thinking about the different areas of championship basketball in Boston, are there any enduring themes that you find when you're going back to the 50s, the 60s, the 80s, and to where we are now with this iteration of Boston basketball?
Tightness. I don't know if you want to call it brotherhood, teamwork, bonding, unity. There's a word there that you can see in each Celtic, and it's Celtics family, and it's pride, and those words come through. But they've done a job together from day one, which training camp starts, to when Cousy or whoever throws the ball up and they're hugging their son or whatever. Each year, it's that bonding, it's that glue that kind of keeps all of them together. And the desire not only to be the best in the world or the NBA, but to be the best amongst their peers and amongst themselves.
Jeff Twist, thank you so much for taking the time
to
sit down and talk with us about this. This is such a tremendous project, so congratulations on it. And again, Celtics City debuts March 3rd on HBO, runs through the end of April, so you'll want to catch every one of those 9 episodes.
The 2024 Boston Celtics are one of the greatest teams in NBA history.
We did it!
It is Banner 18.
I come to work out of respect for what people have laid here before. Red Auerbach used to say it best.
Celtic pride. That's what it's all about.
The greatest in the game, Larry Bird.
First game, Boston player walks up to me, said, "Don't look up." All these retired numbers, championship banners.
I just thought this was normal. And then you go to other arenas and quickly realize it's not the same.
I look at that little leprechaun, and sometimes I just want to spit in his face.
The Boston Celtics bring out the worst in everybody else.
We've got a melee here in the garden.
That was the classic.
Just a classic.
Larry Bird carried the city on his back, and for a lot of people, he was going to be the savior one way or the other.
30 teams in the league, but how many got things that last forever?
The Boston Celtics have to be central to the city of Boston, and the players who play for the Celtics have to feel like Celtics.
Boston's a rough place.
The bottom line is, wasn't no ice cream and cherries. You have to tell the whole story.
Every team that's hung a banner has gone through something.
This letter was sent to the Garden, and it was a threat against Bill's life and the kids.
Len Bias, with this world in front of him, gone.
Reggie Lewis, and he said his career may be over.
They're just thinking, not again.
Paul Pierce gets stabbed multiple times, almost dies.
There are a lot of things happening outside the arena that were difficult. But the time I spent in the locker room and on the floor with my teammates was like heaven.
Larry Bird's not walking through that door, fans. Kevin McHale's not walking through that door, and Robert Parrish is not walking through that door.
This kind of bonding will never be duplicated.
The greatest thing you can accomplish is friendship.
Thank you, Boston. I love you.
They all know each other's story, because it's all part of their story.
The Celtics are a way of life. They're not just a team. They're the Celtics.
Let's go now to Social Snapshot. We're over at the big board with Melissa Valdez, our in-arena host and special correspondent. Melissa, you've been all over the web talking to fans, trying to collect some good stuff. What do you have for us in Social Snapshot?
Fans are talking. It's a great time. Let's check it out. Social Snapshot time. First post. Al Horford is an official Hall of Famer, you guys. This was a post from his high school in Michigan, the Grand Ledge High School. Congrats to the class of 2024 GLHS Athletic Hall of Fame inductee, Al Horford. His jersey was officially retired tonight. He's joined by his family there, accepting his jersey being raised. There's a banner here that talks about the NBA World Champion, and he's always going to be a legend in our eyes. Congratulations to Al Horford. And something to also know, he's the second Celtics player in 2 weeks that has been, his jersey has been retired. We know that D. White recently in Colorado. So congrats to them. And I also want to point out Jason Tatum giving him some props and some fire emojis to Al.
I love this because it's only a matter of time before Al Horford's number is in the Basketball Hall of Fame. So it's good for the high school to get on this and get this up there. I think I read it was the first time they've retired a jersey since 2010. So big moment for Al. Glad they found a break in the schedule. And remember, they're playing the Pistons tonight. So maybe some Michigan love, a little Michigan, feeling some good vibes for Al.
I love it, and I also love the dedication to the number.
Yes.
There's Pops, 42, going all the way back to high school. What else have you got for us?
All right, next up from @Celtics GRD says, the anomaly is now officially listed on Jason Tatum's basketball reference page as a nickname. And we know he has plenty of nicknames, but he's a versatile, skilled player. He has a unique name, so it feels fitting, you know what I mean?
How are we feeling about this, Meg?
I don't like it. It's just, it's not the kind of word that at least I say in everyday conversation,
Right.
So it's a mouthful, and a nickname is supposed to be easier. It's supposed to have snap, jump right off the tongue instead of saying Jason Tatum, the anomaly. It does not roll off the tongue.
Well, you can always call him Jay or Taco J, you know, Big Deuce.
JT.
Plenty of options.
The one that should have stuck was that when LeBron said he was a problem, he could have been the problem. He had the truth and the problem. I will continue to scream. Taco J is fine, but Jason Tatum is a problem.
He sure is, in a good way. Last one is from Bostonian DC. We love her posts. They're always so much fun. This looks like a Renaissance painting. And you got Torrey Craig and Luke Cornett. They have been turned into a work of art.
Ooh.
Check this out. Look at the dub by the basketball. We love that.
I like the bird over there. This is a trend on social media and Twitter in particular. I know there's an account that does art as sport, or sports as art. And it does look like, because you see the grace that the guys play with, like it does look like something that would be on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel.
Can we just be honest that anything involving Luke Cornett looks like a work of art?
Absolutely,
in a museum. So it's not surprising that you just like throw a little filter on there and Luke looks awesome.
So graceful.
Absolutely. All right, well, thank you, Melissa. Don't go anywhere, because on the other side, who else could we talk about this week but Derrick White? We're going to hear from him and how he found his joy playing basketball again. Welcome back. We're going now to Small Bites. It's a snack-sized segment that packs the punch of a main course. And last week at practice, Derrick White talked to us about how he felt that he needed to find his joy playing basketball again. Well, Coach Joe Mazzulla, he spoke on that right after the tremendous Knicks win that the Celtics had, and here's how he weighed in.
Derrick White was talking about how he was kind of lacking joy a little bit during that tougher stretch, and that he's been able to kind of rediscover that. Do you see like a change in his demeanor, and just like how does that translate to the court and then kind of to the rest of the team?
Yeah, just playing with a freedom, right? I think as you become a better player, which he's done since he's gotten here, and with the success that he's had, the expectations rise, and when the expectations rise, it's easy for the joy to be robbed from. And that's just kind of the natural ebbs and flows of a career. And I think there are moments where you have to fight for that. And so when he's at his best, he plays carefree. He makes big shots like he did tonight. And then he just defends at a super high level. And, but you have to go through those. I'm glad he went through it. It was important for his growth. It was important for us to see him struggle because it shows how much we need him. And it was important for him to fight for that confidence because, he's one of the best point guards in the league. And when he plays like that, we're a different team.
I love that perspective from Joe Mazzulla because it goes back to things that I think anyone who's played sports have heard since they were in early high school, which is just go out and play loose, play carefree. And it actually can be a real process that you have to go through to get there. And so to hear Derrick White be able to recognize that and then rediscover that and play at the level that he's playing at now, it's a testament to who he is and who he continues to grow into as an NBA player.
What's crazy to me is I can't even imagine a world where Derrick White isn't happy, right? Like he's just joy personified out there. He's just normally smiling, having fun, mixing it up with Tatum. And yet we get it, right? Like he's struggling. That wears on you. And he was in as long of a slump as we've seen in his time with the Celtics. But as Derrick goes, so goes the Celtics. I don't think it's any coincidence that as Derrick refound that joy, as he's gotten back to being super impactful on the court, Celtics launch into this stretch where they've ripped off 10 wins in 11 games, and they just got to find a way. Make sure, the most important thing moving forward, make sure Derrick keeps his joy.
Absolutely.
So that there will be joy in June with one of those.
Absolutely. Hey, what a perfect time then to turn to player spotlight and shine our spotlight on Derrick White because of who he's been since he rediscovered that joy. It's bringing all of us a lot of joy, to be honest, because in February, White's shooting is almost at 47%. That's ridiculous. He has 13 or more points in 12 straight games, and he's averaging 16.3 points per game, which is a career high. So yeah, I'd be happy with that too.
I don't know if they've had to get him bigger shorts because every time he's checking, there's threes in his pockets, and they're just overflowing. So,
he's got to get those cargo shorts going.
Bring back the 90s look, just overflowing with three-pointers. Look, I go back to it. He's just so good out there. Beginning of fourth quarters, especially when Tatum isn't on the floor, Derrick just goes up another level. We saw it in Toronto the other night. It's just, Derrick makes good things happen, and when he's playing this sort of way, good luck. I don't know how you beat this team.
Absolutely. And I do think about it this time of year because we're post-trade deadline now, and this is a guy that they picked up at the trade deadline from San Antonio a couple years ago, and everybody goes, he seems like a nice piece. Nobody expected him to be this impactful years later?
Brad Stevens might be in jail right now because that was such a heist, and able to trade and get Derrick White at that time of year, and he's only gotten better and better and better. And look, there might be even another level to get to. Everything's going Derrick's way. He's still got to get that All-Star berth, which he got robbed of this year because of that mini slump. But I have a feeling that All-Star is coming sooner than later.
All right, well, Derrick White has a lot of opportunities coming up to continue to show out and continue to post those terrific stats. So hopefully we'll get to continue to talk about him. But let's get into our weekly predictions because, oh my gosh, it's not just this week. The next couple weeks at TD Garden are going to be unreal. And we're starting with a conversation about Jason Tatum. Oh, he's just coming up a little bit short of triple doubles recently after he had one last week. Does he get another one this week?
I gotta say yes, because the assist numbers have been out of control. He had 17 potential assists against the Knicks. Probably should have got the triple double if guys were knocking down shots. We saw it in Toronto, 9 first half assists. That number is going to get there. The rebounding has been there for most of the season, and especially considering the way the Celtics have had to play small at times, I can see that number going up. I think Tatum absolutely gets a triple-double, maybe in that Jokic game, just because you know how much he loves the triple-double.
I agree. All right, well, you said the name Jokic, and so we got to talk about some of the guys who are going to be seeing the Celtics, and that includes Cade Cunningham, Mitchell, and of course, Nikola Jokic. Who are they most likely to hold to under 30 points of those 3 stars?
All right, here's my reasoning. I'm thinking through, I got to talk this through. Cade Cunningham, that's going to be a tough one. They're on rest. Jaylen Brown was limping off the court the other night in Toronto. I think it's going to be tough to keep him. Donovan Mitchell, just every time you play this dude, he seems to go off, and I do think the Celtics antenna is going to be up, but sometimes he just makes amazing things happen. So I don't know, maybe it's a surprise. I'm going to go Jokic. I feel like he's still going to have his impact. He's still going to put up the big numbers. He's going to get the rebounds, the assists. But if you can keep him just low enough to take advantage of that, I think the Celtics find a way to not only hold him under 30, but find a way to win that game.
I'm going with Jokic too. Everybody knows that he's a walking triple-double, but the other 2 names on there, Cade Cunningham and Donovan Mitchell, I mean, those are 30-point guys. Of course, Jokic is too, but you see what, for example, the Pacers, the Lakers were able to do with him, keeping him under 20 last week. Maybe you can follow some of that blueprint if you're the Celtics. But carrying on, we have one more big point here because Boston now has a 6-game streak of winning by 13 or more. Interesting, because that's also that little Derrick White number that we just referenced in Player Spotlight. How many double-digit wins do they pull off this coming week?
Like, I feel like all these games should be pretty close because of the talent on the floor. But the Celtics, when they win, they tend to win by double digits. So I'm going to keep it low, though. I'm going 1 in here. They're going to find one way to. I think they might sneaky go 3-0, but I do think that only one of them will be a blowout win, and I'm not sure which one I want to pick, but they've been so good, beggars can't be choosers.
I agree. The talent that they're going to see over the next couple weeks is just a different level, which I think is the perfect time for them, but they have not had a double-digit point differential in either direction against Cavs, and they haven't seen Jokic with Denver. So there's a lot of unknowns here. Detroit is a team that's up and coming as well, especially after who they were last year. So I would go with 1, maybe 1 double-digit win, but that's not to disrespect.
That doesn't speak to it. I still think they can be super successful. They just got to go out there. All that matters is the W. And sometimes winning those close games and getting ready for the postseason and how difficult those games are going to be, not the worst thing at all.
And let me just say, as we close out here on Celtics Weekly, guys, don't be afraid to break out the headbands. If you need a little extra something, don't be afraid to break out the headbands. Don't be afraid to weigh in, because we love hearing from you, our viewers, in the comments, all over social media for Social Snapshot, and we'll catch you on Celtics Weekly next Wednesday.
Great idea on the headbands.
It looks so good. Yeah.